finals we get to witness.
I don't know, but if SRG is able to take it all the way, it begs the question about all their competitors before them. But it's time as we head into the land of Dawn to prove the theory whether blue side is going to maintain its 100% win rate here in the grand finals with Falcons Apbren up on blue, SRG up on red.
Let's take a look at this composition, right? The alpha. I think it's going to be very, very good, especially in the early game. It's really all going to come down to how they can shut down the Fanny. I think it's a similar vision for SRG that Falcons Apbren had in the previous game, which was go and invade purple buff number 2. Try to just take the purple buff away from the Fanny. And that's why the Thamus does find a lot of pressure here. But honestly, when it comes towards, the later stage of the game, I don't know how the Samus will play out against, the Harris, the Alphas, where they're going to be able to actually kind of burst him down. And the Vengeance won't really have the same effect as it did for Falcons Apbren like it did back in game number 2 for SRG.
No, I can agree with the sentiment here, but I think, especially when you do have the Thamus, it kind of opts to tell you, like, I want to have some form of control and dueling power. Oh, God.
This is it. The Spear of Alpha straight into under the turret skies. Finds first blood again. Calteezy, though, looking for the trade back. Cram under the turret, able to flicker out. Skies in the bush. And Calteezy will be able to escape for now. Earth Shatter, flicker onward. Combo together. Kyle gets the response.
They should have been a little bit more decisive on that one. Do you back away or do you just hold your recall? I mean, you're basically dead anyways, but at least they got the flicker out of Ogwin. It's 1-1 in terms of kill score. Everybody's just fighting back for that lead, but this allows Flapteezy to actually try and recover in his lane. He's going to freeze it right underneath his turret, and that's just great for him because as soon as he hits level 4, he's going to be a problem.
And now for Falcons Apbren, that level 4 power spike is going to be massive as well, by the way.
Huge.
Few, Demonic Force is all he needs, technically for Ogwin as well with the Primal Wrath, and it will create a position or a situation where it's going to be very hard for Stormy. Does he steal the Primal Wrath? Does he steal the Demonic Force? Well, that's your answer. He goes for the Primal Wrath over the Demonic Force. So let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, I think for now, especially in the earlier stages of the game, there's taking the Demonic Force, especially, the only person you can really punish is Calteezy, right? But even then, these cables are really good. They can cover a lot of distance at a time, and even pulling yourself away from the Demonic Force in a lot of these cases, right? So I think that taking the Primal Wrath is going to be the most optimal. It's good, it's versatile, it keeps you alive in a lot of situations as well. But in the meantime, I'm curious about the status of Innocent dealing with Super Marco. Let's have a quick look at how the state of the lane is going, because I'm guessing that both of these gold laners, they are going to play a little more passively. Oh!
Flicker Implosion, good one by Yum, straight into the shove. Cram holding on to the last Insanity. Primal Wrath used up, and now it's the last Insanity to blow him up in the back line. Calteezy finding the trade, and it's going to be 1-for-1 right now. X-Speed traded for Rome. Flapteezy, no vengeance on him. Good Terrify from Stormy, forcing out a Demonic Force from Few. And just like that, SRG, they're playing their cards really, really well. Now with the cooldown on the Demonic Force, no resets, they should be able to take the turtle for free.
We do see the hand cams from these players. They're trying to increase their APM here, right? They're going in and out of their shop just to make sure that their fingers are warm for when the situation calls for it. But let's see, this turtle is going to be important for both sides here, and ideally, SRG wants to stall it out.
Again with the Earth Shadow, Calteezy into the back line with Flapteezy. Sky is going to be bursted down by Kyle. Picks up the killing spree straight into the turtle. That's free, but it's for Falcons Apbren. Cram trying to kite away. Faraga armor down. Calteezy's looking for the assassination, but Cram was able to flicker out and space himself out properly.
And what am I telling you, all right? That's why you have Thamus on your side. You're able to kind of buy just a little bit of time, but most importantly, your damage is so applicable. If you win any single one of your trades in these side lanes, then you start calling the attack dog, Calteezy, to start finishing up these kills for you, similar to how SRG did it, except with Yums.
Slowly but surely for Falcons Apbren, that's always been the way they take their games, at least the winning games, right? It's all about building the gold lead very steadily, utilizing the macro advantage, and then suddenly going for a big team fight with that power spike hitting.
Well, regardless, at this point, I think that even between Calteezy and as well as Sakai, if you look at the gold in favor of Calteezy, a slight EXP lead for Sakai, and that's going to change very quickly since there's plenty of camps up still left for Kyle.
By the way, I didn't really notice this at the start of the game, but it fused on Brave Smite on the Phoveus. So I would say it's an interesting emblem to take, right? Because usually would maybe want to go for Impure Rage, try to get more mana, stuff like that, all about sustain. Calteezy wants to go for the assassination, though, finds it in the bottom lane. Xborg Usually you can sustain, usually you can get out, but Flapteezy's just munching on that Faraga armor.
I mean, when you get ganked 3 times like that, you know, how many times has he been canceled a recall? How many times has he had to sacrifice himself and trade down against Falcons Apbren? And to answer your question, why few decided to go for Braveswine is because he bought first item Gleaming Gem, right? Every single time he gets a level, he's going to be able to get some mana as well as HP. Speaking of which, Ogwen.
Good shove down. Ogwen forced to use the Primal Wrath. Oh, baits out the implosion too.
Oh no. Is this a dive angle? They know that Harith doesn't have the Zaman Force.
For now, not yet.
I think, all right, at this point of time, right, if we are really thinking hard about this, I think that Falcons Apbren are in a much better position than SRG. They know that a majority of the ults are down, so whoever's low, quickly reset, come back. We need to do this fight. We need to potentially have a fight, but at the very least, blitz down this turtle.
You can see Flap's damage there, zoning Yums away. And you can see for Selangor Red Giants, they know that there is no way they can contest for this turtle, not with their HP bars. And they'll decide to back away. Just deja vu to game 1, game 2, where they had to come back in the game. Innocent going to be engaged on, forcing the Zaman Force out. But Innocent is able to space out in a way where you can't really go for the chase. It'll be too greedy to do so. Cram in the mid lane, just poking Ogwen down.
Well, they're going to take their time with the skin. FCAP, they've been like slowing things down a lot. Ooh, Thunderbelt first item coming in from Flapteezy just to make sure that it's like, oh no, I'm not trying to War Axe, I'm trying to get real tanky so that at least even in the late game, I have some form of relevance there. Now he's opting to build a War Axe, but he's going to take some time with this, right? At the end of the day, the most important ones are the insurance policies, and that's going to be in their gold laters. I'm seeing Super Marco and as well as Innocent both contesting pretty heavily, but it's going to be Super Marco who has the lead for now.
Skies there, Spear of Alpha, able to catch him, but Kyle still has the energy, has the purple buff to escape. We got a game fact, but hold up, Flapteezy going in, forcing Yums to shove back.
Well, game fact here. We were always talking about blue side being the heavily favored side. Wait, no, they're fine. Okay, blue side being the heavily favored side. But honestly, in this grand finals, 100%, but overall, 60.44% win rate overall in 91 games. And that's a lot of data that we're working with. It just goes to show, man, if Falcons Apbren win, it's to be expected.
It's the pattern of even the MPO regions. Blue side has just been such a dominant force, and I guess with the patch, even more so. Flapteezy and Ogwen, though, again, really trying to control the enemy jungle. Flapteezy just trying to maybe even invade some of the creeps here. Cram going for the poke. Ogwen able to onward defensively. Falcons Apbren know better than to go for the fight. They know that they have an advantage now with the Fanny to clear out the side waves, to actually shove it and force SRG to lose some XP and gold.
I totally agree with you here. I mean, look at how shoved up the waves down on that bottom side, right? And at this point, Falcons Apbren can keep on doing this. Keep stretching Selangor Red Giants, start taking away their tier 1s, but most importantly, with the attention being pulled elsewhere, this purple buff for Kyle TZ is always free. It's not being taken away from him just yet.
Ooh, Cram. Faraga armor completely demolished there. The shove back, Flapteezy still with a vengeance. And now it's going to be Kyle TZ jumping to the backline. Stormy trying to go for the Terrify. Gets absolutely obliterated. Few in the midst of it all. Still able to get the demonic force, but Cram melts him down with the fire.
Oh, for now, good peel, but at the same time, they are still trading 1-for-1. We haven't seen a positive trade from Selangor Red Giants in the past 8 minutes or so. And until we do see that trade happen, I think that, you know, they're going to take their time once again. The scaling on Innocent especially, they need him to have that Holy Crystal, have some relevant damage in this game. Because so far, Kyle TZ, he's having the time of his life, right? He's playing a completely separate game while SRG are scrambling to figure out how we close down on this 4K deficit.
It's going to be very, very hard for SRG, but really it's all about... I feel like in this game it's a bit different too, right? Because in game 1, game 2, the games that they were able to come back despite losing out in the early game, they had a composition that does well in the mid game. Meanwhile here with the Harith, you're not forced to get the early lead, but it'll be better. It'll be optimal for you to have that early lead, to build your own snowball. And if we do get to the later stage, Falcons Apbren, they have a marksman. They still have a lot of these skirmish-heavy heroes that are pretty good in the late game too, man. I mean, even Flapteezy, his build on the Thamus, He can take as much damage as he can deal.
Yeah, and he doesn't mind poking, right? Because that just helps him stack up that hybrid defense regardless. And you can definitely see the difference between the two because, unfortunately, Thanos is taking a lot less damage than Cram despite the 2-level lead, right? And more importantly, it feels like Stormy is having the hardest of times. Because what ultimate do you take at this point in time?
Exactly.
Even if you take the Demonic Force, there's not many people who proc it.
Oh, Kyle trying to go for the assassination onto Stormy. Stormy's still able to displace himself very well there. And SRG, now with the conceal, Yums looking for a play. Knows Flapteasy doesn't have a Purify, but doesn't want to go for it just yet. View Demonic Force into the midst of it all. It's a 2v5 right now. And now it's going to be Calteasy looking for the backline. Primal Wrath, the Yums finds the implosion onto 2 members straight into Innocent. Now with the Demonic Force, but he's going to be changed CC, still surviving. Cram finds a double. Ogwen going to be slashed by Skies. Somehow, some way, the Red Giants always find a way.
Oh my goodness, they catch 3 there, and just a sliver of health from Yums as well. Those important calls from the side of SRG is what's really defining them as why they are a threat to Falcons Apbren. Great implosion coming in from the side of Yums. Innocent, I would have liked him to use that Purify just slightly earlier, but let's look at the replay here, because when it does happen, right, Few initiates. His objective is to chunk out as many people as possible. Sakai's, he probably could have held his ground just a wee bit longer, but wasn't expecting Yums to get so much there. Because Super Marco, at the end of the day, is waiting to finish off all the low members, and that's the main win con here for FCAP.
Slowly but surely, now it's SRG's turn to take it slow. They got the Lord. No real reason to go for the fights now. They can start going for the turrets. And we were talking about how for SRG, it would be great if they can somehow build their own snowball. And it happened right as their window opened. That was their power spike. Innocent getting into the mid-game, 10-minute mark. And now with the Lord in the mid lane, they're starting to get some structures down as well. Yums to the flank. The conceal spotted by Ogwen. Primal Rat stolen away. Falcons Apbren's got to respect this. Marco dealing some damage onto the Faraga armor. Now the Holy Defense going to be procced in the mid lane. No, they keep it alive. So far for SRG, they've only managed to take mid and top, and they're actually going to lose a tier 2 down below.
Calteasy this entire time just headed down to the bottom side. He knew that he's basically going to be useless if he has to take a traditional front to back against SRG. So he opts to take the on the opposite side of the map. At least his team doesn't have to worry about that side. Super Marco with the GDS already just knows he's going to get attacked, he's going to purify, he's going to transform, and just walk away and maybe look for a re-engage down the line. But most importantly here, I think that SRG, especially for sick guys, for him to start the fight is a bold claim. I think that Falcons Apbren, they want SRG to find these big engages more often than not so they can initiate, right? It's really that implosion that they're worried about. They don't want to repeat the same mistake twice.
Great cross-map plays here by Falcons Apbren, able to find another tier 2 turret. And these are small wins. It won't win you the game instantly, but slowly but surely, just with the tempo shifting, and with Falcons Apbren having so much more prio on the map later on, especially considering, they can shove a bit deeper, they can start invading, they can start looking for these angles that the composition will definitely find a lot of value with, right? If they are able to attack from different angles, force SRG into a non-front to back, it'll be great for them. Spear of Alpha onto Ogwen, straight with the fire to Ogwen, force to flicker with the Primal Rat, now Cram! Last Insanity, straight to the skies, and now it's gonna be Cram still kiting away, Few with the Demonic Force, now with the Vengeance as well, but he gets bursted down. Now Kyle looking for some more damage, Few jumping around but gets caught by the spear. Skies on a killing spree, Marco keeps on going, finds a double, the turn to ties around Innocent in the midst of it all, looking for the play. Cram has the Faraga armor back up. Super Marco forced to run away.
And that's the GDS diff. That is the GDS diff. Clean them up, Kyle. Fight. Oh, he doesn't spot him. Crab. Oh, no, he walks out. He's trying to do it all over again. He ends up giving a Crab. Lost his cool at the very end, dude. He had no idea. But yes, the GDS difference there. Gets the Faraga armor, uses the last Insanity, kites away from it. And even Innocent, honestly, the placement of the Apbren Force actually mattered there. The 10% slow could have been what they needed to win out that fight entirely. Let's start with the position of Yums. Just look at where he's positioning, right? He knows, he spots out Kyle and completely shuts off that zone, and Kyle quickly turns around. Now, if Kyle got his damage down in, then Super Marco has the green light.
Innocent, though, dealing a whole lot of damage. Ogwen, even with the Primal Rep, gets completely obliterated. Calteasy into the back. Yums doing the same thing again. Stormy able to flicker out with the Primal Rat. Skies! finds the retry again, and View is all but alone amongst the Red Giants. But even then, SRG, they say, no, we will not fight, we got the Lord.
This is becoming brutal combat. Honestly, they're putting everything on the line to make these plays work out. Let's look at the replay one more time to catch up on what exactly happened. Once again, Yum starts walking forward. Despite being a man down, right? We do see that Innocent able to outplay the situation thanks to the help. He plays literally almost on top of Yums as he flickers forward to try and catch as many people possible.
Now it's about them utilizing the enhanced Lord. Calteezy was able to secure the orange buff. Now in the mid lane, Flapteezy to get a bit of damage. The Blood Wings already done from Innocent. Look at the burst damage onto Flap, forced to use the ultimate as the Lord charges in. Innocent still holding on to Zaman Force, knows that there are going to be more waves.
Oh.
Few brought back to the team, now forced to use the Demonic Force. Absolutely gunned down from the skies with the Demonic Force. It didn't even matter.
That was disgusting. That was disgusting. He literally got behind him and pushed him back into the team. This could be an end angle here.
Oh, Gwen, Earth Shatter not connecting. Now with the Spear of Alpha from Skies, unable to connect. It seems they are struggling. Calteezy just bursted down right as he cables in. The base wide open. Selangor Red Giants take match point.
They're the first to touch it. MY, 3-game win so far in this best of 7. They need one more to get the title here. All smiles on their faces, but oh my goodness, nobody would have expected it to be in this fashion.